The Florida State Seminoles have added their 10th commitment to the class of 2026.
You are Locked On Seminoles, your daily podcast on the Florida State Seminoles. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back into Locked On Seminoles. I'm your host, Brian Smith, longtime college football writer and recruiting analyst. Thank you for making Locked On Seminoles your first listen each and every day. Today's show is about Wihtlley Cadeau, defensive tackle out of Booker T. Washington in Atlanta, Georgia. He is the 10th commitment for Mike Norvell and the Florida State Seminoles. Let's break him down. 6'5", 295 pounds. This is a young man that is a pure interior defensive line recruit. And to be honest, Florida State got a gem because I watched his film and I'm like, why in the world is Cadeau not ranked higher? It's pretty funny. He had a visit set with Georgia State and Purdue, but I'm like, this kid could play for any program in the country, and you cannot teach the frame. He's got some athleticism. He's got a lot of juice. When he takes off, he hits somebody and you know it. This isn't a big guy that just has the natural size. He has the effort with it. I liked his film a lot. And I'm glad that Florida State went after him. So this is what I would call a Bobby Bowden special. He took a lot of under-the-radar kids from Georgia over the years. You take your time with them, you develop them, it works out pretty well. So this is Florida State's first defensive line recruit. And getting a pure interior defensive lineman with the frame and athleticism as Cadeau, that is a very nice start. Florida State Seminoles will have several more players coming in for official visits that can play on the defensive line or edge, if you will. But getting that pure interior guy is a nice start. And I wonder with the defense that Coach White is going to run for the Seminoles, if he might play some nose guards of two technique, two eye, if you will, in addition to playing 3 and 1. Like they're going to change their base around a little bit from here and there. I think he's a guy that you can play some games with the offensive line. And there just aren't very many guys that have the natural width and size and athleticism that he does to play nose in a zero tech. Not saying that it's a lock, but he is a possible candidate for that position, and you can just never have enough of them. There aren't enough guys like that. And to be honest, I'm also a little bit surprised that Georgia did not offer, because they run a pure interior defensive line set that's a bunch of big bodies. They two-gap quite a bit. And they've never really backed off that since Kirby Smart's been there. But hey, as the saying goes, don't complain when you get in it good. So Florida State picks up a really good defensive tackle. Now, with the big weekend coming up next weekend for Florida State and many schools around the country, in between today, I'm recording this Sunday night, I would imagine in between now and Friday, Florida State will probably pick up 1 or 2 more recruits. That's just kind of the norm. They had several kids on campus that it went well. DQ, Forkpa, and a few other players. Like he's the linebacker out of IMG. He's just a freak show. Another kid from Georgia originally. And they've also got some other guys. We're waiting to hear back some information. But right now they've got their 10th commitment, and it's a really important one. To build this defense the way Tony White wants, again, you just can never have enough interior defensive linemen. So I want to do this quick update. There isn't any other commitments as of about 7:30 on Sunday night as we get ready for this week. But the commitments are going to start flowing. SC and a whole bunch of other schools have gotten commitments in the last 48 hours over this weekend. Monday through Wednesday, some of it's going to flow. Florida State will probably be one as well. So we'll have a full show tomorrow talking about the entire list, who came in, who didn't make it, etc., what's going on with Florida State news. But once again, Wihtlley Cadeau is a Florida State Seminole out of Booker T. Washington in Atlanta, Georgia. He's a very underrated defensive tackle, and the Noles picked up a gem. We will see you again tomorrow on Locked On Seminoles.